Hello and welcome back again, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This one is for low levels. I'm going to use a low level base, and actually a base that has not been played in a while. And we are going to collect the free things, and we are going to use those free units only to do the entire event. And by entire event, I mean the entire event. And I'm going to show you that a low level can do this. It doesn't matter what level you are because they gave you these things. So let's put together a platoon, and we're only going to use one platoon essentially. I might break the platoon down later for the higher levels, but we're going to put together one platoon and see what workshop that he has. If you don't have the workshop, it's not going to be good, but for the Kabuto, there is no workshop. They don't give you the workshop, so we're going to have a level 1 Kabuto with 8 the level that they gave you bombardiers. So it's essentially, you don't even have to have bombardiers, and you don't have to have them leveled up at all. They gave us, I think, level 12 or something like that. I'm not sure, but we're going to workshop them really quick. Sorry, this is going to be the longest part of the thing because he didn't have anything workshopped on his base here. And then we are going to go out and do the first part of the event, and then we're going to do the I think they're called incursion bases, and then we're going to do the tactical strike, and we're going to do them all with this one platoon, and you're going to be surprised, I think. So if you say that you cannot do this event, you should be able to do this event. And this event is a long event. You should be able to do this over and over and over and over again and get every single thing that is available. And if you'd like priority, get the get your Kabuto levels up, because this is a level 1 Kabuto. You can get the Kabuto, I think, up to 15, maybe even further, because the Kabuto's been out for a while. So, but if you get the Kabuto up to level 10, you're golden, and you're going to be able to do this event, because the only thing that's really going to take damage on this event is the Kabuto. So, I just wanted to show you the whole process. I know it's a little boring, but I wanted to show you the whole process so that you understood that this was actually a low-level base that had, not even his units workshopped, you know what I mean? And so we went and upgraded, pretty much the workshop on these things, and that's it. And we want to get all 8 of them workshopped. All 8 of the workshop are obviously not even the same. It's just whatever you can get on there. It doesn't matter. Those units are not going to take much damage anyway, those bombardiers. You want them to do more damage, right? That's what you care about. So we're going to go in here and start out with the mission 1. These should be very, very quick, and you shouldn't take any damage. The bombardiers move at about the same speed as the Kabuto. So what I recommend, and we'll go ahead and we'll put on these 2 boosts right here that are free. He doesn't have any thorium, so we won't put the defensive boosts on, but that'll just help our the amount of damage that we do. All right, here we go. I was trying to collect to see how much thorium he had there, if you were wondering what I was doing in that base. Simply release this platoon in all of the mission bases and you are golden. You might take a few seconds damage, but in most cases you're not going to even have to repair. You're not going to take any damage. I believe the number 3 base, we're likely to take a few seconds of damage because those tanks shoot missiles and then they have splash damage and everything, so there's not going to be a way to avoid that. And remember, you're getting all of these sirens right now. You want to start building the sirens. The sirens actually, I don't know. The event just started, so I believe that the sirens will actually be of some use. I went to the wrong base there. Okay, this is the number 2 base. All I'm going to do here is try to direct them in this direction over here, because otherwise they'll sort of get stuck on that wall and it'll just take longer to get around the wall. By just directing them over this way, it should be a little bit faster. I really don't want them getting stuck on that wall because they are very cumbersome, those bombardiers. It takes them a long time to turn around and they stop when they turn around, so I just wanted to get them around that wall. Other than that, it's on Ruby. The entire event's going to be on Ruby. I mean, the entire event's going to be on Ruby. You're not really going to be controlling anything. And again, this is my first playthrough on a low-level base. I am just so confident of what this platoon can do. Even though it's a lower-level platoon, I understand that pretty much the incursion bases are going to be free. More than likely, the tactical strike 1 is going to be free repair right on the map. And I understand, the tactical base number 2 is so massive that I think that the Kabuto is going to take a little bit of damage. I do believe the Kabuto should survive if you protect it, if you keep it near the bombardiers. If you let everything sort of spread out, because here, let me tell you the tactic here. The Kabuto takes the shots. The bombardiers kill everything. The Kabuto's not powerful enough to kill things, and he'll sit there a long time. But that's why you have electric op on. It's electric op on because you want him to shock the railguns. Essentially, the only thing that can really hurt the Kabuto is the railguns. Everything else is going to be, not damaging him too much. So when the railguns are hit, you want them to be, shocked immediately. And so you want to keep the bombardiers right behind the Kabuto. And there is a ton of railguns in the tactical strike 2. I mean, there is a lot. It's almost entirely railguns. So to imagine that you can come in with a ground unit and kill a base that has that many railguns is really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. It goes against everything that we learned, when the railguns first came out. You just don't get hit by the railguns. That's what we learned. If you notice there, my tactic is to slow down the bombardiers just for a second, stop them, put them on defense, and then let the Kabuto move out in front. And that way, we're slightly behind the Kabuto. That's what you want. You want your bombardiers to be slightly behind the Kabuto. That will prevent them from taking any splash damage. They have more range than the Kabuto. However, they move at the same speed as Kabuto. So the initial attack, the Kabuto Kabuto might be right in the middle of your bombardiers, and you don't want to take a hit. So that's why I do that. Okay, here is base number 4. I thought that base number 3 was base number 4, but it's base number 4 that, yeah, this one with the tanks here, I believe will take a little bit of damage on this one because of these tanks and what they shoot, and they have a cloud like Dr. Ake does. See how I stopped the bombardiers just for a second? But on this base, it may not have been warranted because I actually want them to be up there because I want them to kill the tanks and be in front of that thorium storm cloud. So I kind of made a mistake there, but I wasn't thinking. But believe me, they're going to take such little damage that it doesn't matter. But it would have been better if I just released them all together on this particular base. On this particular base, you don't really want them lagging behind, because as they lag behind, they sort of lag behind in the thorium cloud, and you don't want that. We might have been able to avoid any damage there whatsoever, but it was free repair, so it doesn't matter. Okay, now the final mission base, still the same platoon. Now, if you happen to have, and most people will, if you happen to have Foxhound, put Foxhound in instead of one of your bombardiers, because then the Foxhound will also give a bonus to the other bombardiers. Right now we have no bonuses going to the bombardiers because we have no Foxhound. So speaking of priority, you want to get your Kabuto up. If you do not have Foxhound, that would be a priority to get Foxhound. Now that they gave you the 2 units that you may have missed because they held back the extra parts for those 2 units, and now you've got them. They gave them to you free, including the warrior. Go ahead and get the extra part right now for the, I think it's called the Macedon. That's relatively cheap. You're going to want to get that. You're going to want to get your Kabuto leveled up so that you can do more and more and more of the event. That's going to be your number 1 priority. Macedon can come later. And then I would say get the units that are going to have the most impact on your account. Foxhound is one of the, Foxhound is one of them. And whatever other special units that you've missed, focus on those. You get a lot of points here. You're going to get 900,000 over and over and over. It takes about 3 minutes to do the 1 and the 2, because I do them together. I do them simultaneously. You've got enough bombardiers where you can do that. You can do them simultaneously. I would say the hero called, let me think of what his name is real quick. He's your most important asset. Let me see what his name is called. Dang, I can't believe I can't think of it right now. Orpheus. Orpheus is going to be the rock star of the next, I don't know, of the next few months, maybe half a year. Orpheus is going to be a real rock star, and I think you really want to get Orpheus. And by the way, I'm really not sure which order I was doing these incursion bases in. I just picked, because the map is such a garbage map now. It used to be where I could read the map. Now everything's glowing and I literally can't see. I have to get closer to the screen. I sit about 12 feet away from my big screen TV, and so I can't see the map. I really can't see the map. It's a big problem. So I have to, get out of my chair, walk close to the TV, and look and squint my eyes to try to see the map. So I can't tell which incursion base that we're on. I just click, on the mission guide, and I click for the next one. And that way I never have to accidentally hit the wrong base. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and split the platoon up just a little bit because I want to try and get through this um, without too much damage. I really don't want to go more than, say, 3 platoons. So we'll see. For the final platoon, I might have to go 2 units per platoon. But for now, for the rest of the incursion bases, and probably also for the tactical strike 1, we're probably just going to keep the 3 platoons. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so that was number 2 that we did. You see how I went to the map there, and it's going to take me to the number 2 base. And so I'm just coming over here, and choosing that. And so now it took me, I believe, to a number 1 base. That looks like a number 1, but I can't tell for sure. We'll find out. This could be a number 3. All I know is that it's not a number 2, and that map thing tells me how to get there. That's how I find all my tactical strike bases, because I'm not going to search the map. They're very hard to find, and so I'm just going to go and find it with that tool. So I'm not doing anything. It is literally on Ruby, and coming to the end of this base. Let's see how we did. That one is also free repair, thanks to the fact that I did break that down into 3 platoons. Okay, now that was a number 1. Let's go do the number 3 base. Now the number 3 base on the incursion is going to be the hardest incursion base for sure. And it's another reason why I recommend you do not do the incursion bases. You got to do 3 bases. You only get 1/4 of the reward. You're going to get 4 times the reward for doing 4 bases. Or excuse me, you're going to be getting 4 times the reward for doing the 2 strike ops bases. And you're going to see that Strike Ops 1 is far easier than Incursion 3, and Strike Ops 2, I would say, is not much more difficult than Incursion 3. This Incursion 3 base is, while you should be able to do it instant repair, the Incursion 3 base is a bit of a obstacle if you want to do incursion bases, because I think that a lot of people are going to take some damage on this base. strictly because of the size of it and the number of railguns and the number of things that you have to face. Now remember, this is for low levels. I'm trying to point out that low levels can do this with nearly free repair, with the exception of, we'll see how it goes, but I don't think we're going to be able to get through Strike Ops 2 with free repair. But this is for low levels. But if you are not a low level and you use this method, you're going to get instant repair on the map. All you have to do is watch my regular video for mid-range players, and it's instant repair. I have a video out called "The Perfect Platoon," and now this is the perfect platoon for low levels. Now, if you have better units in your base, like a Foxhound, it's going to make it even better. And if you already had the Kabuto and your Kabuto is at a higher level, you're going to be set. But speaking of priorities, as I said, get your Kabuto up, because you're going to be using your Kabuto for this event. And if in fact you already have the what I think is going to be the rock star of the next, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, which I just mentioned a second ago. What's his name? Orpheus. If you have Orpheus, put Orpheus in here instead of the Kabuto, and you won't get any damage at all on your bombardiers. I did a video with Orpheus at level 1, and he is amazing on this event. So if you have Orpheus and Kabuto, you can do, and you have all these, just depends on how much workshop you have. This is a low level base. He barely has enough workshop to do 8 bombardiers. But if you've got 16 bombardiers or 15 bombardiers and a Foxtrot and Orpheus and Kabuto, then you're going to be doing 2 bases at once, which is what I'm doing on my base, or on my event. I'm constantly attacking. I'm in 2 bases at all times. I'm coming out with instant repair on every base, and I'm moving to 2 more bases. So I'm just doing 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, and it's just racking up the points. Like I said, it takes me 3 minutes to do 2 bases, and I typically do a 1 and a 2 at the same time. So I'm doing in about a half an hour, we're getting millions and millions of points, and tens of millions of points in about an hour and a half. Tens of millions of points. And then I just been blowing through this event, and then taking a break, and then coming back, and I'm not using any boosts. It's just a very, very good. It's a very good event, I think. This is an event I cannot complain about. The only complaint that I can really have is that the number 2 Strike Ops base is a little overwhelming, but we have the resources to deal with it. So now I did break it down into 5 platoons, but here we go. This is the Strike Ops number 1, and I don't think this is going to be a problem at all for our level 1 non-workshopped Kabuto. I don't think this is going to be a problem at all. There are quite a few railguns in here, but it's actually nowhere near the difficulty of that number 3 incursion? I think they're called incursion bases. Incursion Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. If I'm saying it wrong, you know what I'm talking about. The mid-level, the mid-tier bases, or the low-level bases, the low-level event bases, not just above the mission bases. And notice I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything. It's all on Ruby. If here's what I will say, if particularly low levels, if one of your guys goes astray and starts going off on his own, just grab him and pull him back into the pack. You don't want them going off on their own. Occasionally that will happen. Typically, if I see that, I'll put that one guy on a mission to go to keep him sort of in the back because I don't want him wandering out into traffic, basically. And my reason for putting this video out here is purely for low levels to see that they can do this, because if you can't, notice these in the bottom right corner. You notice all these golden little things popping up here for these missions. Collect those. Don't sleep on those. Okay, those you can go into the workshop, not into the workshop, into the store, into the metals store, and you can buy all your workshop. You can buy all the workshop that you need, get all your workshop up to speed on your bombardiers, and just in case you don't have it, just in case you didn't have it, in your workshop, you can actually get that and continue to improve and upgrade your bombardiers. And every time you upgrade your bombardiers, that's going to make the next base that much easier. If you have to, stay on the incursion bases for a little while until you are prepared to do these strike ops bases. But as you can see, you can do a bunch of these strike ops ones with free repair. So even if you stuck to these strike ops bases and stayed just on the level 1, level 1, level 1, level 1 over and over and over again, you're going to be stacking up enough XP to where you can buy whatever it is you need, another level on Kabuto or whatever it is. And you need a bunch of these level 1 bases anyway. And then once you get everything up to level or up to snuff, then you can go and upgrade your Kabuto or your Orpheus or whatever it is that you're working on. If you do have the Orpheus, you are in luck, because this event is going to be super easy. The Orpheus is amazing in this event. If you're a higher level player, just watch one of my other videos that I have called The Perfect Platoon for the Echoes event. So here we go. This is going to be the challenge. What is going to survive in here? I'm going to say that Kabuto is going to survive, and that he's going to be the only repair that I'm going to have on this base, because I know that he is going to take damage on this base. Maybe I have enough to already upgrade him to level 2. Let me see. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think I wonder if this is going to be free repair if I end right now. It's probably too late. I do want to see if I can get him up to level 2 though. let me end this battle. No, it's not free repair. Kabuto took a little damage there. Okay. And then this is a little trick here. Rather than individually repair every one of those platoons, I just started the attack again, ended attack, and then I get free repair on all of those 4 other platoons. Wow, they all 4 took damage. That is not a good sign. I still believe that we can do this. Let me just see if we can upgrade him to level 2. Yeah, we don't have enough yet. It should be 800. We only have 400, so no, we don't have enough. Okay, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have ended the attack. I should have continued on with the attack, but I just wanted to see if... Okay, so here's what you do. You do that, what we just did, you repeat that again a second time, and you can get Kabuto up to level 2. And a level 2 Kabuto is going to be much better than a level 1. He does have a couple of gold there. I'm going to go ahead and use one of his 4 gold that he has and get that back so that we can show what we were trying to show. Sorry about that. I just thought that we had enough to maybe upgrade him to level 2. So we'll go back out and attempt this one more time. But I saw how much damage... now we're gonna... I thought I had healed it already. For some reason it didn't work. Okay, here we go. So we've got 5 platoons broken down, and that should help us with the repair times. And I'm really not going to do anything. It's really going to be on Ruby. The only thing that I want to do is to make sure that nobody goes astray. I think that the best route is to stay to the right as much as possible, and I am taking these last 2 bombardiers and sort of making sure that they are focused on clearing everything out. You notice here, anything that comes up to me, I'm taking it out on the right-hand side. And if there are any rail guns that are standing within my range, I want to take those out as well, because the key here for Strike Ops number 2 is that you want to keep Kabuto alive. If you'll notice, look at Kabuto's health. It is not looking good already. He is not looking good. I said that he would survive this fight, but it's looking like, man, he is badly hurt. He might not make it here. He might not make it. So now I'm going to focus on where did he get all that damage from those railguns or what? He is like barely alive right here. If I'm getting a clear picture of that, he is barely alive. That is not something I expected. But like I said, you need to go to level 2 or maybe level 5 before you start doing these. At least level 2 is going to make a huge improvement. And if you get him, every time you go up, you're going to take less damage. Right? So we're going to see if he survives to begin with. And then we are going to see if how much time it takes. Because if you look at these bombardiers, they are all, you know, very much in the green. That means that they're all free repair. Will they be free repair on the map? I don't know. We might have to go back to the base, but they're going to be free repair. Kabuto still hanging in there. Yeah, he's red. He's barely alive. I do find that shocking because I thought that he would come out of here with more health than that. But again, he does not have any workshop, and he is a level 1. My Kabuto in my base is max level. I haven't. Let's see. Have I? Yes, I do. I have tried him on this base, and he comes out with free repair. I've tried this exact platoon with my Kabuto. However, my bombardiers are max level, and my Kabuto is max level, and it's like instant repair. Alrighty, folks. That is the entire event done with one platoon. We did break the platoon down here at the end. And to be honest, you know, it's not necessary to break the platoon down. It's okay, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. We'll just send everything back. Some of these are 5-minute repairs, some of them are 7. They're all going to be free, with the exception of Kabuto himself. We're going to find out how long it takes to repair a almost dead Kabuto. That's the biggest surprise for me. I just thought that he would be, you know, much stronger than that. So I'm breaking these individual bombardiers down, and they're all free repair so far. Kabuto is, what does that say? 26 minutes or 32 minutes? 32 minutes. Okay, 32 minutes. Now remember, you've got repair logistics. You could repair him like right off the bat if you wanted to. Since he doesn't take any damage on any of the other bases, hardly at all, you can maybe just continue to use him until he's dead on doing another round of this. And I don't know, he was almost dead, so that 32 minutes, he's probably 35 minutes total in repair time. And remember, it's really not 32 minutes. You take 32 minutes minus 5, and it's 27 minutes. So you go down, you get a cup of coffee or something, you come back, and he's free repair. Or you just do base 1 over and over again until you can get him up to a reasonable level. I say once you get him up to level 5 or so, you're going to be doing that with instant repair. And that won't take many rounds for you to do that, to get him up to level 5. You get him up to level 10, and I guarantee that that's going to be a free repair base. If he's on his own platoon and you have the other platoons broken down like that. Yeah, this is I hope it was helpful, guys. We'll see you next time.